Good morning, folks. Happy Halloween. Okay, that was my bad cemetery impression. If you don't live in Indiana, and you're watching this, you don't know who cemetery is. Look him up on YouTube. He was amazing. One of the best parts of my childhood. He was just the best. But anyway, those of us from Indiana know who he is. He's a legend here. Anyway, let me get started here real quick. The Storm Prediction Center still has us in a slight risk. All of Indiana, all the way down through here. They have not changed that. Here's their tornado threat. We're at a 2%, which I've seen tornadoes happen in 2%, and I've seen them not happen in 2%. Down here in Louisiana, they've got a 5%. Wind, we're still at a 15%. It's a decent threat of what they're thinking. Hail is non-existent, and I agree with this. There just doesn't seem to be the hail parameters here today. Something I looked at, mid and low-level lapse rates are very weak. It's not going to be conductive of hailstones getting tossed up and down, up and around the atmosphere and getting dropped here. I don't see hail being a problem. Something I want to touch on before I forget. Any of these storms that do come through, and other people have been touching on this, and this is something I forgot to touch on yesterday. You are not going to hear much thunder and lightning with these storms, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Let me go to now, this is where I go. This is real-time data coming in now. This is called the mesoscale analysis page. The SPC has it. Anybody can access it. It's got a lot of cool dynamics I look at. You can see our surface load down here. It's still in Oklahoma, still trying to deepen. It's at 1,002 millibars. But notice right here, look at these wind fields starting to tighten up, these gradients. This is only going to get worse as the day goes on. This thing is going to eject, what we call eject out, like this. It's going to go about right up through this way. It's going to eject out this way, and as it does, these wind fields are going to tighten and only get stronger. See how these are starting to get even closer down here? I mean, these are stronger winds, and as these wind barbs right here get longer, you can see it right here. See how they're starting to get longer right here? That means the winds are getting stronger, and that's only going to increase as the day goes on. I'm trying to go pretty quick here. The thing I'm looking at right now, and this is what I talked about yesterday. Remember how I was talking about storm relative felicities? Basically what it is, it's the spin in the atmosphere. It's the spin. You throw a whole bunch of towels in a dryer, and you turn it on high. What do those towels do? They just go all over the place. They spin. Okay. That's what I was talking about yesterday, and that's what the models really had off the chart. Well, it's starting to verify, folks. Down here in Arkansas, you only need 250. Only 250. This is what we look for. You only need 200 for, shall I say, tornadic development. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking at a huge tornado outbreak. Nobody is. We're just not looking for that. Isolated tornadoes possible, yeah, but this is a different situation. But this just shows how volatile and what's really gonna fire these storms is. It's already down to 950. 950 down there in Arkansas, and that is going to shoot up this way. We're already at 400 here. If we were in a tornadic environment and there were supercells, this would be more than enough to get them going, but we're not. Okay, don't take me wrong. I shouldn't say it that way. I'm trying to word the right way. There's always the possibility of tornadoes, but what I'm trying to say is just I don't know what I'm trying to say. But let's go to another coolie that I like to look at, the wind shear. It's still pretty high down here. It's still pretty minimal right here. 70 knots of wind shear, 70 knots bulk wind shear is plenty efficient. And you're probably wondering, well, there's nothing up here. Well, no, not yet. That's because this low, like I said, is still stuck down here and has not ejected out. This stuff will eventually start moving up with it as our ingredients start coming together later on today. The visible satellite, and this is what I really want you to pay close attention to. This area right here. See this clearing right here? If this clearing right here, the visible satellite's just now starting to come up. If this clearing makes it over to here in the southern Illinois and southeastern Missouri, we may have a little bit of an issue on our hands because that may introduce sunshine. And if we introduce sunshine today, we will introduce something called this, which is CAPE, mixed layer CAPE. I like to go by the mixed layer. Right now, there isn't any, okay? See all this blue? This is a SIN. This is convective inhibition. This means there's just no CAPE right now. There's no energy from the sunshine being radiated right now, okay? Now, if that clearing moves over to here, if it moves over to here to southeastern Missouri, if we see these numbers go up to, say, 500 or 1,000, That's going to add fuel to this. We weren't expecting any sunshine at all to get these storms going today. If the sun comes out, who knows what will happen? Nothing's ever guaranteed in weather, but I'm just telling you, it will really add a whole new element to this situation tonight. If this sun's able to come out down in this area down here, it will really destabilize things. So we're gonna have to watch how that develops during the day. Let me try to think what else. Let's actually go to. Let me turn the radar on here. Yeah, here we go. You can see it down here. You can see our low starting to deepen down here. Here's it. But look right here. Look at that little clearing area. This needs to be watched carefully all day. If this clearing keeps going this way and makes it, this is really going to destabilize things, especially southern Indiana, western Kentucky, and central Indiana. This is really going to destabilize us. I'm quite concerned about this, and I'm going to show you something real quick here right now. There's a short-term high. There's a high rapid res. I can't say it again. Can you folks believe this? Never mind. It's called the HRRR. There we go. Look, high resolution rapid refresh. It's like a tongue twister. This is one of our, we've got models that go short term. This is one of our short term models that actually take into account what's going on right now, and they run every hour out to 15 hours. This one does, okay? Now, okay, here we go. We're starting here at 12Z today. This is the 31st. Just a bunch of rain coming through. Blah, look at that. I mean, just heavy rain coming through by this afternoon. It's going to rain all day, folks. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be miserable out there. And the winds are going to pick up big time. But, we've got an issue right here. Look what starts happening on this particular run. And I've seen the other 3 runs. I can't really show you one of them. I'm not allowed to, which I won't do. But I am allowed to show you this one. Look what's going on here. As we get into hour 10. This just processed. This just ran. Oh, boy. We need to watch this right here. This has got my attention. That looks like a pretty healthy squall line starting to go in my eyes, and I'm going to show you why. Look at hour 13. This is tonight around 8 p.m. 14. Here it comes, and this even concerns me even more. These little isolated cells popping out of front ahead of it. Hour 15. This is a pretty healthy line, folks, and I do not know. I'm clapping my hands. When you hear me do that, I'm trying to bat something home. I do not know if it's going to go this way. Okay? These models hit, and when they hit, they're really good, and if they miss, sometimes they're really bad. But what I'm seeing right now going on, I have reason to believe it could happen this way, and I'll show you why. Let me go back to a couple of the parameters. This is a decent squall line, folks. This kind of concerns me for central Indiana and southern Indiana, maybe even in northern Indiana, if this was to come to fruition. Okay, let me go back really quick, and I'm going to show you why this concerns me. Remember how I talked about CAPE earlier? CAPE can only happen by sunlight. Remember how I was talking about the clearing down southeastern Missouri? Well, this model is picking up on this. Okay, we have no CAPE here right now. Look what happens as this line comes in. Oh boy, see? And that's lining up with that line, my friends. That's CAPE, and that's all we need. That's instability in the atmosphere that adds in already to the spin we have above from our helicities I showed you earlier. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. I try to keep things easy, but there's nothing ever easy in weather. That's why I'm a little bit concerned. See that CAPE coming in with that line? This is this model saying, okay, you're going to give me sunshine, I'm going to give you some storms. Okay, if this happens, if the sun comes out. Now, if we cloud over down in southeast Missouri, then the CAPE won't be up here like this. But this is very interesting development to me. I am just wondering now if we are not going to see clearing, especially down here in the southern portions here midday. I'm going to have to watch this very carefully, and it really concerns me. So, I'm not going to hype it up, though. I'm not a hyper. I'm just telling you what can possibly happen here. You got to understand, folks, this type of system is so hard to pinpoint. Please give people like me, our on-air personalities, our private guys who are really good at this, our certified meteorologists, please give them a break today. This is a really, really tough system to get down, and we're just laying out the basics for you. We're telling you what's there. Just give them a break, and we will get it ironed out for you. We will know what's coming. We'll at least have 2 to 3 hour warning notice for you guys. So That's all I want to talk about right now. I went 10 minutes. I went too long again. I talk too much. So, till next time, I will keep you updated throughout the day. If you don't listen to our locals. Listen to anybody you can. Okay? We will let you know what's going on. If I don't think anything's going to happen, I'll come on and say, hey, not going to happen. No big deal. I have no ego. So, alrighty, folks. Enjoy your Halloween. Talk to you soon.